The University of Northwestern Ohio, offering rare access to professional racing through a unique curriculum, propels young men and women into the fiercely competitive world of motorsports. Those careers start right here. Mind, character, physical ability. Motorsports U, the art of educating all three. Last week on Motorsports U, the UNOH Motorsports team made a good showing in the Limaland Motorsports Park Championship, with 2 top 10 finishes in the modified division, and Cody Wiesner finishing second in a backup car in the 12th annual King of the Quarter Mile race.
I don't know, I kind of screwed up going into 1 on the start and fell back to like 5th, I think it was. And then I just had to be patient and just hang it on keep it on the bottom to get around everybody. So the top group was faster, but they were already up there. So once I got past them, I moved back up and led the rest of the race.
A points race came down to a couple points, and it was actually pretty close for Rookie of the Year between me and Andy. He got me by 2 points, I believe. All he had to do was finish in front of me, and he got the Rookie of the Year, so I'm happy for him. But it was pretty cool that the championship came down to Terry Hull and Todd Sherman. You know, it was tied the whole night, and then they actually decided on who won or who had the most second place finishes.
Now the University of Northwestern Ohio is off to Eldora Speedway for one of the biggest races of the year, the K&N Filters UMPH Modified Championship.
Nationals. There's over 115 cars down here to compete to get in the top race, and hopefully we'll be able to qualify and get in there. It's one of the largest races of the year for any dirt car driver, and we're here at it with our students. The advantage the university gives our students to be able to come down to Eldora and compete in a race of this magnitude is unprecedented. It's just awesome, and it's great to be a part of it, and then we have the ability to be able to do it with our students.
When you think of Eldora, you think of history and speed. Eldora is known to be one of the fastest dirt tracks in the country, and all the top racers will be there. The UNOH team has brought all 4 modified cars in hopes of ending the season with a great night of racing.
It's something that you're not going to experience anywhere else. Just the speed that we carry, and I mean, if you're going to lay down a lap here, you pretty much got to be on the gas all the way around or being wide open. You cannot crack it at all.
So many cars here. I just think it's the fact that Eldora is owned by Tony Stewart, and you know, it's a huge deal to come down here and put your name in the history books, to even say that you run here. You know, I never thought I'd ever be racing at Eldora Speedway, and you know, if it wasn't for the school, I probably wouldn't. And it's just one more thing you could put on your resume, you know.
Coming to Eldora, for me, it's kind of like going to a big NASCAR track here for us. We really don't have a big premium track here, asphalt track in Ohio. So I kind of think of this as our Daytona here in Ohio, and it's a great place, big, fast. And, you know, you see a lot of great racing here. I don't think I've ever come here and watched a race where I was like, man, I came to watch that. I come every time, it's better than the last time. So, you know, Eldora is a good place to come. So hopefully it's going to be nice to us tonight.
The UNOH drivers for tonight's events are Chris Puskas in the 01 car, Andy Strait in the number 1 car, Cody Wiesner in the 00 car, and Jared Back driving the number 2 car. Everyone is getting last-minute instructions, and the crews are working hard to get all 4 cars ready for racing. It was clear in hot laps that Cody was really fast with an impressive qualifying time.
Well, I think it's very exciting that the students are down here competing at the UMP Nationals at Eldora Speedway. It's located about an hour from our campus, so it makes a great venue for the motorsports team to come down here and compete on a half-mile track where Limaland's a quarter-mile track. So I consider Eldora one of the top tracks in the country, and it's a good opportunity for our students to get some hands-on experience in racing down here.
Everything was good. We got the same numbers as the other two impressives. And the only thing different, we got another half-inch of wheel space in the right rear. But it was all about, you had to go out, hit your marks right on the money, and just drive the wheels off it. And I got lucky and went out and laid down a lap that was 14th quick out of 119, and it was fastest of our group. So it's just pretty much, most of it comes down to luck and where you go out. And we had to go out, I think we were 53rd to go out, so we were about halfway. And there wasn't any way that we were going to go out and be able to run down in the low 17s like Schrader did with going out when the track still had a lot of bite in it. But we made the best of what we had.
The heat races, with only the top two finishers moving up to the A main, had Cody's 00 car starting 4th and the 01 car driven by Chris Puskas starting 8th. Cody was extremely aggressive right from the start and moved up to 2nd place coming out of turn 2. A caution flag came out. If not, Cody may have led the whole race, but instead he got into the wall on turn 3 after the restart, dropping him back. Cody and Chris both ran good races, but didn't qualify for the feature, forcing them to run in the B main.
In the heat race, when we went out for qualifying, the track, the only rough spot was really in 3, where they open the gate and the cars and trucks and stuff go back and forth. But it started getting rough in 1 and 2, and I drove it down in there, and it bottomed out when I got off the throttle. And next lap, I told myself, I was like, all right, well, I'll just drive it in there like I didn't qualify, and then drove it in there, and right up by the wall, the track really falls off. And I got the right rear kind of up in the marbles, and it hit right rear and hit the right front, and ended up breaking the stud off the upper, so we were pretty much done after that. But it's just one of them deals. I mean, if you're gonna go fast here, you gotta be on the gas all the time, and you gotta take chances, and you gotta run the edge every lap. And I mean, if you don't do that, you're not gonna make the show. And it's just one of them things. It was a little error that turned into a big one, and I mean, it is what it is now. So we're gonna have to race our way in now. So.
In the next heat, Andy Straight's number 1 car and Jared Back's number 2 car started in the middle of the pack. Both ran good races, but failed to qualify.
Last night was a little rough. We were looking for a little bit better qualifying spot because we had to start pretty far back in our heat after what he put down. I think it was like an 18.9, and all the fast guys were 17.9, so we were about a second off. He ran okay during the heat, I guess. The first 5 laps were pretty rough, and then after that he found his way around a little better, and we were taking times, and he picked up about a second during the last 5 laps. So I think he's starting to get the place figured out. I think he's just needing more time in the car and more time on this track.
I mean, there's almost 120 cars here, so I mean, it's definitely a tough competition, you know, and we've raced with them down in Florida the last couple of years and everything, so they're not afraid of competition. They go where they get to really find out how good they are.
Actually start 4th in the B main. I think I'm the furthest up to the front, so we have a pretty good chance of racing our way in. I'm confident with the car. Shouldn't be any problems mechanically. I just have to wait for my opportunities and get to the front, hopefully make the A main, and I'd like to get a top 15 feature or finish out of the A main, but just to make the show is a big accomplishment for me.
It's going to be tough. I got to pass 2 a lap to transfer, so I mean, I'm just going to have to go out and pay attention ahead, make sure I don't get into any trouble, and just drive the wheels off the thing, because that's the only way we're going to make it right now is a lot of luck and just looking out and seeing what's ahead and hitting my marks and going for it. So.
Right there. I want to win. I want to win our features. So our B main is a good starting spot for the features. So hopefully we end up doing that.
Be really cautious and just work on my driving, and hopefully we can work our way up through there and see what we can do from there.
I started 17th in the B main. all 4 of us are actually in the same B main. We're all gunning for the top 2 spots to make the A. Big thing, Eldora always has wrecks. Just try to stay out of the wrecks. You can go forward just by default, but also try to be passing cars. Big thing, I just want to go forward.
If I remember correctly, we're in the second group that goes out for the B, and I start 24th. All 4 of our cars are in the same B main, so I start shotgun on the field and got to pass 2 a lap. But we changed some things today, and I'm pretty confident in the setup that we got. So I'm hoping it gets real slick like it did last night. We can show everybody what we got.
Yeah, it's going to be tough tonight. We're starting pretty far back in that B main, but after the changes we made and now that Jared's got a few laps on this track and a few more laps in this car, I know he's not going to be afraid to go out there and just barrel it into the corner wide open. As long as we got it set up good and hope it sticks. I think the changes we went with, he should be all right. We should be able to make it as long as we stay out of wrecks and stuff like that.
Spend a lot of part of the year learning, and we don't want them to get to the point where they're overdriving. Maybe we're too conscientious about what the other teams think of the university. We try to be ambassadors of the university and ambassadors of the sport. Tonight, it's the last chance to get into the UMP Nationals. I think all that goes out the window. We're just got to get our drivers pumped up and go for it.
All right, guys, appreciate all your hard work and effort for today and the rest of the whole season, all right? We still got 2 races left, right? Everybody's hard work and effort is why this car is in the top 4 starting this race right now, all right? Day 1, we've always improved, and I feel like right now we're going to showcase our improvements. Last week, we were the only car in the feature. I feel like we're going to put this car in the same spot again this race right now, all right? So let's get it in here. Let's get a little team effort going on. What are we going on? What are we going on? We're going team. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team!
All 4 UNOH racers are lined up to compete in the B main. Chris Buska started 3rd. Cody and Chris were both running towards the front of the pack. Cody had a hood latch break in turn 3, leaving him driving blind into the pits. The crew removed the hood off, and Cody was quickly back into the race.
This is my first time at Eldora, so my biggest thing as a driver is just getting comfortable in the car, learning what it's doing, trying to get it to go through the corner, just getting the feel for the track is my biggest thing.
Our cars and engine, I mean, it's just a perfect combination between the motors and the cars and the drivetrains that we have. It's, you know, when we were out at I-55 was the most comfortable I've ever been in that car. I could drive it top, bottom. They're good cars. They're real fast no matter where you go. And we didn't really change the setup for probably 6 or 8 weeks, and we finished top 10 every week we ran with it. So they're really good. I'm real pleased with the cars.
It's a whole different experience in Limaland. It's definitely not what I'm used to. I'm still adapting to this track. You have to run right up on the wall and use the cushion, and the cushion is inches from the wall. So if you make the slightest mistake, you're into the wall, and it could end your night right then and there. I mean, you might be lucky you just barely scrape it and keep going, able to keep going, and just a little bit of sheet metal damage, or you might bust to the right front completely off.
All 4 UNOH racers should be proud of their performance at the B main. Chris finished 3rd and has earned the first alternate, or so he thought.
Still spinning a little bit, but we took some of that out. I think we could have left some of that stuff in.
right to left.
Okay. It was fast. I mean, it just couldn't qualify it.
Definitely a good rebound compared to last night. Definitely. We didn't make it, but we went forward. Almost 10 positions, so it was good. Happy.
Trying to dodge too many people, and there's way too many idiots on the racetrack that shouldn't be racing. It is what it is, and I don't know if we made it on provisional or not, but we'll see what happens. It's frustrating starting that far back and trying to weave your way through people that are running India and weaving in and out and wrecking people in front of you. So we'll do what we can, but I hope we made it.
We went out there, first 3 or 4 laps, just getting the feel of it. The car was a little tight getting in, which hurt me through the corners. But I mean, the car had a real good forward bite off the corners, and I would catch them. It was just the corners were killing me. So I just worked on that the whole entire race.
The new setup was really good in the car. Started 4th, went back to 5th for a little bit. Car was real good after that, and the car that was running in 3rd for most of the race held me up big time. And I got him on the last couple of laps, and if I would have got by him earlier, we easily could have been in 1st or 2nd. I really wanted to qualify for the guys, so it was fun up until that guy got in my way, but it happens. You live and you learn. No big deal.
The main feature race gets underway with Chris sitting in the pits, anxiously waiting to see if he will get a chance to compete in the UMP National Championship. A wreck coming out of turn 2 in the very first lap gave the team some excitement, thinking Chris would be up for the feature. But instead, it was Cody Wiesner with his fast qualifying time that would get the nod. The team hurried to get Cody's car out of the trailer, having thought this night of racing was done.
What happened was we went over and we checked to see who the alternate list was in case somebody doesn't make it through the first scored lap, then whoever the alternates are would get to go into the race. Well, we thought it was the 01 car because that's what they originally told us, and we kept it out. But here it comes to find out that it's Cody in the 00 car. He was actually the first alternate, and then they had a wreck, and there's at least 2 cars out. So we're frantically trying to get Cody back in the car to get him out on the track because it was already put away on the trailer.
Cody wasn't even in his suit or nothing. He had to get suited up, and we had to get the car out of the trailer, which was pretty hard to do real quick.
But luckily, right now, they just got off the red flag, but he had some time to calm down. If he was smart, he would calm down, and he should be all right. Just use his head. He'll be starting in the back anyway, so just use his head. He'll be all right.
Cody ran a good race, but noticed car trouble and respected his equipment, pulling back into the pits.
I'm really happy with the performance Cody Wiesner did. He was in the big feature race. He was doing a wonderful job moving forward. He noticed a problem with the car, and he respected the cost of the equipment and decided to opt to pull in rather than damage more equipment. Nothing better to say than that. You know, when a student, a lot of people can be critical and say, well, it's not their money, you know, what do they care? It shows that he cares. You know, he looks out for the team, with the work the team members put into it and the effort the university puts forward for. Hey guys, y'all have a good time at Eldora? Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I think everybody did a wonderful job. Really good team effort. Think about it. 120 cars. We ended up having at least one in the big race. Nothing to be ashamed of. All the cars are in good shape. You guys all did a good job. And I will see you all Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We'll have one quick meeting, and that'll probably be it. All right, guys? Have a good weekend. Be careful and be safe, all right? Yes, it is. To be able to come down here and participate in the Dirt Nationals with the students and the university cars, that the university, the board of directors, and President Jarvis allows the opportunity of this for us and our students to be able to do that. This is a world-class stage down here, 120 cars, and we ended up with one of them in the big feature race. Nothing to be ashamed of. All 4 drivers' teams did a wonderful job. The cars are in good shape, and that's a win-win situation. Sure, we all would like to win all the time, but we can't win all the time. To be able to participate on this level with the likes of Kenny Schrader and everybody that's out here racing tonight are people that have passed numerous championships, points leaders, been doing this for years and years. Our drivers 1 year in these cars, and look, we're on the main stage and we make it the big race. Nothing at all to be ashamed of. So I think it was a rounding success and a perfect way to end the season. Now we go back and we start getting next year's team organized and get everything ready to go to Volusia, Florida and start it all over again.
Next week on Motorsports U, we'll take a look back at the exciting 2010 University of Northwestern Ohio race season.